Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Good Hang with me, Amy Poehler. Very excited about our guest today, Paige DeSorbo and Hannah Berner, two great women who make up the podcast Giggly Squad. You may have listened to them on there. You may have seen them all over your social media. You might have met them in the Bravo reality show Summer House, which is great, and one of them is still on it, and the other one is long gone. But we are going to talk about really fun things today. We're going to talk about stand-up comedy. We're going to talk about female friendship. We're going to talk about pimple patches. We're going to decide what is the best medication for anxiety. So keep listening. Check it out. And we always want to start every episode with people that know our guests or is a fan of our guest or has an idea of what they think I should ask our guest. And who better to talk about two young, wonderful women than the mothers of these wonderful women? So we've got Lenore and Kimberly, Hannah and Paige's mothers, joining us today, who were so delightful. And I could have talked to them all day, so let's hear what they have to say. This episode is presented by the Toyota Grand Highlander. Whether you're welcoming a new family member, starting fresh in a new city, or embarking on ambitious adventures, the Toyota Grand Highlander provides versatility for embracing life's grand challenges. Like how you can effortlessly tuck away the fold-flat rear seats for up to 97.5 cubic feet of cargo space. Perfect if your cargo is baby elephant-sized. From daily routines to life-changing adventures, the Toyota Grand Highlander is up for every grand challenge. Learn more at toyota.com/Grand Highlander. Toyota, let's go places. Get up, what do you say? All I ever wanted was a really good hey. I'm so thrilled you guys are talking to me today. Thank you so much. We do this thing on Good Hang where we check in with people who know the guest or who are fans of the guest or who want to tell me questions they think I should ask the guest. And we thought there was no better people to talk about Paige and Hannah than their moms.
I would say that's probably true.
They played at Radio City. What is it like to see your kids playing Radio City?
I still don't believe it.
No, it was unreal. It really, we pinched ourselves. I'm like, this can't be happening.
I remember when they booked it, I just thought, I couldn't believe that was happening. And then they sold out the first show and added a second show. And then I thought, oh no, they're never going to sell tickets to a second show. And then they sold out the second show. And I thought, what is happening?
Right. And we get nervous for them, but we don't tell them. Like when Lenore is exactly right. When I'm like, you're adding a second show for Radio City. What are you, nuts? Like, no way are you going to sell that out.
Yes. What was it like being on tour, Kimberly? You went on tour with the girls. Where did you go? How long were you there? And what was it like?
I love it. I mean, it's just, I don't go out on stage or anything. Our husbands have gone out on stage, but I just stay in the background and I'm just really there if she needs something, and it's nice to be with the girls. And I love watching. I always say the best part of their show is when they're first together, whether it's in the green room or they're getting their hair and makeup done, because when Hannah and Paige are together, it's like no one else exists. And it's a show. I always say to my sister, oh, you have to come when they're getting their hair and makeup done because that's the best part. Mm-hmm. Right, Lenore? I mean,
it's the warm-up act.
I think their bond is just incredible and so needed in today's environment, really.
I agree. I feel like their genuine friendship is really nice to be around. I think that's what you like so much about them is how genuine they are as people, but then their friendship and bond with each other is why you keep coming back.
Yes.
And Lenore, what was it like to have your daughter be on reality TV?
Oh. Honestly, I don't know how Paige has hung in there so long.
Yeah.
Let's just say it wasn't a good fit.
Right.
It was not a good fit for Hannah.
Yeah, stressful.
She jokes about how, she's an athlete. She's very coachable. And so you put a producer in her ear and tells her, oh, do this. It'll be great. Do that. And she's like, tell me how high to jump. I'll do it. And then she doesn't realize she's making a disaster for herself in the edit.
To Hannah's credit, I always say this. If Paige went through what Hannah did on the reality part of it, Paige would have moved back home and you would have never seen her again. And really, I say that to Paige all the time. Like, I am so impressed with Hannah's perseverance. And I mean, she blew everyone out of the water, just having a Netflix special, like, come on,
she's a fighter and she's very competitive. So that you couldn't take away from her.
I'm wondering if there's a question that either one of you think I should ask them. Anything you want to know. Doesn't have to be big or deep. It can be, is there anything you think I should ask them today?
Are you pregnant? I'm kidding.
Okay, I'll start the podcast by asking them both that.
I think, though, a great question is, like, are they enjoying themselves? Right? What do they enjoy about it?
Well, I am so thankful that you guys gave time today. I think they're going to be thrilled that we got to talk today. I mean, now you're making me think I should always talk to everybody's mom. Because you really do get a sense, really fast. I'm sure you feel this way too. When you meet somebody's parents, and the older you get, when you meet somebody's parents, you're like, oh, now I get it. And it's either a now I get it, I understand why they're so great, or sometimes it's a now I get it, why they're so fucked up.
Well, right? Well, maybe you should have the dads on.
No, it really means a lot that you both gave time, and I'm excited to talk to them. I think they're so great, and the stuff that they've built together, I think, is an indication of the strength of female friendship. I think it's a natural resource, female friendship, and the way it drives the world, and the way they talk about it and model it is really, really cool and special. So thank you both. It's really nice to meet you both.
It was an honor. I never was this on my bingo card. Paige is like, we're going to talk to Amy Poehler. I'm like, what? Huge fan, Amy. Huge.
We love you, Amy.
Oh, thanks, you guys. And you both sound exactly like your daughters, and you look like their older sisters. You do look Gen X all the way,
definitely
babe.
Our favorite.
They're the mom giggly squad.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Amy.
Bye. This episode is brought to you by Degree Cool Rush Deodorant. I'm a big fan of people owning their mistakes, like how last year Degree changed their Cool Rush formula and men were mad. One guy even started a petition. So Degree listened, admitted they messed up, and they're now bringing the OG Cool Rush scent back. It's clean, crisp, and fresh. No wonder it's been the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. Just look for the light blue one. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for everyone. Hi, Hannah and Paige.
Hi, Amy.
It's so good to have you guys here.
Oh my God,
We're
thank you
thumbing
for
through your book,
having
How to
us.
Giggle, which we're going to talk about.
We have to say thumbing. That's a good. We should bring that back.
We're thumbing through
We're
it.
thumbing.
Yeah, we're thumbing. I have so many things I want to talk to you about today. I am huge fans of both of you, and I love your podcast, and I love your friendship, and I love you individually and together as a unit.
Oh my God, thank
Thank
you.
you.
That's actually the only credit we need.
Yeah.
Once I
I'm
heard she
retired.
listens to the pod, I was like, we can retire.
Yeah, we're done.
What is there to do? It's only downhill from here.
That's for sure. I'm
Yeah.
here to tell you it is.
I'm
We're going to talk about that, about how life goes downhill. No, but I talked to your moms. And, so we have this thing on Good Hang where we talk kind of about people behind their back in a good way.
She's
That's very different for us.
She's like, your mom's had shit to say.
But they are so great. They, of course, love you so much. Yeah.
What if they were like, the girls are monsters?
Yeah.
And this is an intervention.
A lot recently.
And they
Right,
had
one
questions
book.
that I wanted to start our interview with because I thought they were really important, pertinent questions for the both of you. Hannah, Lenore wanted to know, are you pregnant? And Paige.
That's a wild question.
And Paige Kim wanted to know, are you enjoying yourself?
Oh, that's such a her question.
Two extremely difficult questions.
We can get to them later, but
And
they're
both
hilarious
answers,
questions.
no. Easy, done. not pregnant and not having fun, not having a good time. No, but I will say, yes, I'm having a great time. Like in the past year, Hannah and I feel like our careers have kind of taken a turn, but I would not be having this much fun if I wasn't doing it with Hannah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it would be the same experience at all. I mean, I know it wouldn't
Stockholm
be.
syndrome, what you're hearing from her.
Okay, so for people listening, like my mom, who might not know Giggly Squad,
Yeah.
who can you guys quickly tell us how you came together? Who you're doing your podcast, Giggly Squad, but how did you first meet, and how are you a team?
Do you want to go or you want me to go?
Okay, I'll begin.
Okay.
Also, by the
Okay.
way, we are in a non-sexual marriage. So if we have that kind of
Like
interactions,
half of America.
we're in a partnership. Yes,
Yeah.
most of America. So we, and let me know if I'm overstepping, Paige.
Oh,
but we're like, we'll talk about this later.
when we get home.
You embarrassed me in front of Amy. You embarrassed me in front of Amy. So talk about that. So anyway,
You'll
Giggly
be sleeping on the couch.
We're just trying to not explain what Giggly Squad is. People are like, they don't know what their own podcast is. No, Giggly Squad, it stemmed from Paige and I both got casted on a reality TV show.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. It was never what Paige wanted to be an entertainment reporter. I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. And we found ourselves on reality TV, scared, alone,
Yeah.
worried.
Yeah.
But we had this trauma bond from it. And people liked our friendship, which is weird. It's weird for anyone to comment on you when they don't really know you.
Totally.
But for some reason, in the reality TV zeitgeist, they were like,
Yeah.
Hannah and Paige are entertaining and
Yeah.
relatable, I guess.
Yeah, and I think we obviously we didn't know anything about reality TV. So we would watch it back and we would be like, oh, we feel like we were funnier while we were filming, or we feel like people aren't really getting our friendship.
I go, they definitely cut the best punchlines, but that's
because
fine.
we'd be in the bathroom and we'd be like to the
Riffing.
camera guy, hey, why don't you come with us? We're gonna really run a bit in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't care.
We didn't realize that there's a
we
basic
don't have room for this.
Yeah, there's a basic storyline, and they have to cut it down to 42 minutes.
Yeah.
And Paige and I are going on these callbacks, and we're
Yeah.
doing all this, there's nothing to
And
do with
we're
the
like,
plot.
oh, that's definitely going to be in the show. That was hilarious. And of course, it's not in
And
there.
then all my interviews, they'd be like, we need you to be angrier. And I was like, I don't even remember. I was drunk, so I don't know why I'd be mad. But fast forward, COVID hits.
Yeah.
And we're FaceTiming. Everyone's depressed. Everyone's scared. Again, more trauma.
And we're both home at our parents' houses, and we're
With Lenore and Kimberly.
yeah, and we're 28 years old, and we're like, so what's gonna happen to us? Are we gonna get married? Are we gonna start a business? What's gonna happen? All the
Yeah.
COVID
Are
thoughts.
we going to live?
And so we would FaceTime for 4 hours a day, and we'd be like, we're funny. This is funny. People would think we're funny. And so then we were like, okay, let's just go on Instagram Live. It was
Do you
the
remember
time
when that was a thing? I feel like
that
you
was a thing.
Well, I'm a weird, I have weird blind spots about all that stuff because
Yeah.
I just started doing social media a couple years ago because I was on. I know it's
No, it sounds
I'm
so
so
beautiful.
old. I'm so
No,
old.
Amy, we are so
we
envious
need
of
to
you.
talk about
What
it.
is
Instagram again?
When I saw you on Instagram, I was like, oh no.
I know.
Say goodbye to your innocence.
It's so true. I really but I know about Instagram Live. I think I've done a few, but I
Yeah.
never. But
it was
Yeah.
a weird time.
yeah.
Yeah, it was very weird. I remember the first time we went live, Justin Bieber also went live,
Yeah,
and then we
John
created
Mayer.
John Mayer. So then we created a beef. We were like, they don't support women in the arts,
Yeah.
and they knew we were going live at this time, and then they went. It was such a weird time.
It
Yeah.
was so weird. And so we went live every single
day
night
for
at
3 months
10 p.m.
At 10 p.m.
for an hour.
That's how Giggly Squad started. It was
Just
like,
the two of you
Just the
talking.
two
and
of
it
us
was
talking.
we were diligent. 10 p.m. we were going on, and people.
Sometimes we'd mix a cocktail. And so it started where we'd have 500 people watching. Then the next night it was 2,000. Then the next it was 5,000. And we were like, wait, this what's going on? And we had no
Structure.
segment. Yeah, no structure.
Right.
And then
Nothing was happening every day. What were we
Yeah, what
possibly
we were
talking
talking
about?
about. But we
the
were in the-
comments
yeah, we were in the
so
comments.
funny. It was this community of women and gays that
Yeah.
wanted, and just curious straight men who
which is the most dangerous kind of straight man.
Yeah,
When
we don't
they're
want them to be
straight men who
curious.
are
No.
who are
No,
bored.
just-
no.
That's when bad things happen.
No.
No.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
bored? Go answer
Yeah.
an email. So they would comment all these funny things, and we were like, what is this community of girls who are so funny and silly? And it was this light. And then we had to go film
Summer House.
Summer House,
Right,
and we had to stop doing the lives
Live.
because we were locked in a house.
And then the world kind of opened up and we were like, okay, I guess we'll make it a podcast. But like we had no, like going into it, we weren't like, we should start a podcast together. So it just kind of naturally happened.
We actually had to debate. I was like, because I'd been podcasting for a bit.
Right.
And I was like, Paige, you should podcast. And she's like, I don't have a face for radio. You can do that. That sounds like something
like,
you would do.
We're going to have to film
She
this.
goes, I'm not made for podcasting.
I was like, have you
babe."
seen my bone structure? That's such an insult to me. To
I
start a
remember having to
pod.
explain to her
Well,
what podcasting
it's funny, when I
is.
started this podcast, I'm like, oh, we have to shoot it? Now.
Yeah.
I just had somebody come up the other day and say, oh, I just watched your podcast.
Yeah.
Which is like,
It's kind of
watched your
crazy how
podcast.
that's taken over.
And it's different.
Your clips are everywhere right now.
and
We're
you got to
loving
have those
them.
clips.
You gotta have
You gotta.
clips.
And then
That's
you-
why we're not allowed to have too long conversations. We gotta stop it quick.
You're right. Let's
for
keep moving.
45 second clip.
right.
Oh, no.
I'm just going to throw out a bunch of words. And I'm gonna say, these are not my glasses, by the way. I forgot my glasses.
She just stole it from a random person outside.
But when you went back on Summer House after all that talk, you must have felt psyched that you knew each other so well. Like you had gone from, you had a season, right? And then you shut down because of COVID.
Two seasons.
2 seasons.
2 seasons. Then you shut down, and then during that time, your friendship grew. So you came back in knowing, like, oh, I'm with my friend.
We kind of always were like that, like, oh, I have a friend, because we were both new at the same time.
Yeah.
So we already had that bond, like, that first day. And Hannah and I truly are so different in so many ways, but our humor is the exact same. So from the day we met, it was like, this is my best friend.
Yeah.
Not to get, look at me getting dark, but I keep going, I'm sorry to get dark, but I think you might understand this. In any kind of trauma you're going through, the only thing I've ever been able to control is laughter. So like in reality TV, there's multiple scenes where like I'm sobbing about something and then I'll try to crack a joke because it's the only thing that I can control, and that's something that I think Giggly Squad is about taking your life less seriously in spite all of, you can't control your relationships, your job, any of it, but we can choose to laugh instead of cry.
Oh my God,
And
so
I think it's the
philosophical.
elevator. Like to me, like that takes you from the basement. It's like the fastest. If you can find a way to go from crying to laughing,
Yeah.
it's hard, but it's a huge it feels kind of like the fastest way to remember that life is a dream and that nothing matters if you can get there. But it's with people that you can do it with people, like you can do it with people that you trust. And it's kind of what we've been talking about in this podcast is it's so dark right now. Everything is really tough. And I just want to do for my own mental health and for others to do what I do in my personal life, which is to talk to my friends and laugh.
And have a good hang.
And have a good hang.
Everyone needs that one person in their life where it's like you can call them and they make you feel better about anything. It's like a spouse or like, in my case, it's Hannah. Like, truly, if anything happens to me, like, online that I'm, like, deep in, I'm like, everyone hated my outfit. Like, something, like, stupid.
She's like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
No, I'm like, I'll never financially recover from this.
Yeah.
And
It was a sparkly boa.
I'm like, they don't get it. I'm like, they don't get it. No pants is actually really in. Like, I can call Hannah and say anything, and she really does, like, bring me back down to earth. And, like, I will then, like, laugh at something, and then I'll be on to the next thing. So, like, I really feel like everyone needs that one person where you can just call
We also were
them.
going through very unique things.
Yeah.
Like something would happen with reality TV that you
Yeah.
you can't talk to like your
Yeah.
mom necessarily. I mean, you can, and my mom's like, "Why'd you do it?"
Yeah.
But Paige would be like, "Yeah, I did that last week, and this is how I got through it."
Yeah.
So we've just had unique experiences. But Giggly Squad has become us talking about just the mundane, I think, and girls have connected with it.
I bet you get asked a question like Tina and I used to get asked this all the time, which is, what do you two fight about?
Yeah. Nothing. We've literally and we work together too. Like the podcast is obviously a business. So like will we have like business phone calls? Yeah, like kind of. It's not like we have like a set time where we're like, let's talk business.
We've had like other people definitely try to get in the way of our friendship, which leads me to the Akon song, "Nobody wanna see us together, but I don't
Well,
matter, no."
the fact that you
then-
had to break out into song is
I can't believe I just
so
did that in front of Amy. That was so
crazy.
embarrassing. Also, that was definitely a copyright issue.
No,
Also, I don't know this song. I'm so
Amazing.
sorry.
I'll send it to you after. It's
I'm
gonna
so
change your
sorry.
life.
I do know Akon. I know who they are.
But there's this kind of level of, there have been moments where people have tried to kind of turn us against each other, which has like made us stronger in a way.
Yeah.
The only thing we've ever fought about is she has to stand on a certain side, and so diva that I can't, because we literally did the Vanity Fair Oscar party and my dress had like a side and I was like, Hannah, I have to stand on this side, like my dress. And she looked at me in the eye and she goes, I'll literally die if I have to stand.
That was the first time I ever stood up for myself. And I said, sorry, she was a limited 2 model.
Yeah, she's got all good
She
sides.
has all the sides.
Yeah.
And all I wanted was to feel confident on my day. And one of my sides happens to be deformed.
And
You're
I was like,
seeing it right now.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I disagree.
Amy.
There's a
was like,
little
this is
dysmorphia
marriage.
going on there.
There is a little
it
dysmorphia.
is.
But I know what you mean, though. A woman knows what her side is.
And
Every
I
woman
wasn't going to
knows.
solve the dysmorphia in that 10 minutes. I was like, you know
Wait,
what?
it's so funny you brought that up because it means
Is
you
it?
still haven't moved forward from it
I
because that was
haven't.
weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about comedy is you have to decide how much you're going to care
Yeah.
all the time.
When it comes to performing, because I was a tennis player, tennis was really like, you're a winner or you're a fucking loser. Like, you can't walk off the court. You can be like, I
So
played
Giggly
well.
Squad.
You're
So Giggly Squad.
It's an intense competition. But tennis, like, I really dealt with, like, very result-oriented. So when I started doing comedy, I was like, oh, this is art. Like,
Yeah.
I could be authentic and raw, and if people don't like it, I'm like,
It's subjective.
it's subjective. You're projecting onto me, and I'm so lucky I'm getting paid to be goofy. Where tennis, I really felt like every day was judgment day.
Yeah.
So comedy, I've kind of retrained my brain to be like, you don't have to be mean to yourself like you were with tennis. So because I feel like I've lived a couple lives before comedy. With comedy, I've been really nice to myself, and I think
That's great.
I hope other people can do the same if they're being mean to themselves with like how they're doing in their careers.
I think that what you're saying is really important because so much of being funny is being relaxed. And it's like less about content.
Yes.
Well, I not to shit on comedians, but
Let's do it.
I don't like when comedians take it so seriously. I'm like, if the audience laughs, you did a great job.
Well,
I can make myself like this.
Let's be serious. Like it's like when you're in a comedy club.
She's
and
like,
all
okay,
the,
get out of here. This is an important pod with Amy Poehler.
But
I'm mortified.
but when you go backstage and all the men, it's usually men,
Yeah.
sometimes women, but it's like with their headphones on, like pacing, going over their set, and it's like, I saw your set. It's okay. It's not that great.
We're all
It's
making.
it's okay.
They're like pre-gaming to Eminem.
It's pretty tough to talk to stand-ups in general.
Oh yeah, because we have the improv world.
Because they are just always performing at you, and they're also either having done a set or about to do a set,
Yeah.
and they're just trying to figure out what went wrong, and so they're just staring at like right past you, doing their bit, and it's tough.
Every now and then, I practice my bits on Paige without her knowing, which is super
Yeah,
annoying.
That's a
I
very
feel like I
stand-up. You know,
She knows. I
Yeah.
get a microphone.
Yeah.
Because my thing is if Paige laughs.
I'm like, you make me light you in 5 minutes. What are you talking about?
But I have become aware that like it's really annoying to constantly just be wanting to take laughter from people, and there has to be this
Yeah.
this vulnerability. It's annoying.
Yeah, it feels like, you know, you have to be aware that sometimes people feel like your audience rather than, you know. But what is your relationship to being funny? Because you're very funny.
Okay, my whole personality has been built out of spite. Because when I was younger, my brother is so funny. His timing is great. He's so smart. He just like knows when something's gonna hit. So my dad would always be laughing at my brother, and he's like 5 years older than me. And I started to get so frustrated. I was just like, Dad, I'm also funny. And my dad was like, well, you haven't made me laugh.
He
Like,
goes, "You're beautiful."
yeah, like you're beautiful, you can't read, stay in your lane. And so I would get so annoyed.
Also, he's older and smarter and
Older and smarter, but my brother always loved comedy, so like I would always watch stand-ups. I always knew who like famous comedians were. And so then just like over time, I think just hanging out with my brother and my dad, like I got certain timing.
Yeah.
But I was never like outwardly funny. Like I don't think in high school anyone would have described me as like, oh, she was like so funny in class. It really wasn't until I met Hannah that I feel like I was more open about being funny.
Yeah.
Like my friends would say, yeah, like she's funny sometimes, where now I'm like, if you don't think I'm funny, I hate you.
Yes.
Like then you don't get me. Then you don't get like
Right.
my
Isn't it
personality.
funny how people can be mirrors to you? Like
Yeah.
if you surround yourself with people that I mean, your dad now is like, Paige, you're hilarious.
Yeah.
How do we not know? But a lot of friends I'd be with, like, they don't want you to be funny, or that's
Yeah.
not how they see
But
the
I
world.
could never do stand up.
You
the way
couldn't?
she does.
I think she can.
I think you could.
Can
I
I-
just
Paige's
have to
thing
say,
is-
I don't think women should say anymore, I could never
Yeah.
do anything.
You're
because
so-
I
you're
think
so right.
you can do.
I could do it. I don't want to.
No, we have. She doesn't want to
Let's cut to the
stand.
chase. I don't wanna
She doesn't
stand
want
up
to
there.
stand for more
An
than 20
hour?
minutes ever.
With no chair, get a grip.
That's her.
In this economy,
You could Dave Chappelle it and sit with a cigarette the
I
whole
would
time.
love
Cigarette.
that.
That's
love
exactly
that.
right.
With a jewel, a mango
Yeah.
jewel.
Just get an IV while you do it and sit there and just get other things
like,
done.
You get your nails done for 3 hours a week, and
That-
you can't stand
Actually,
once a
that
week.
would be amazing if you got your
That
nails
would
done
be
while.
amazing.
That is
I'm
stand
like, I have
up.
to fit it in.
That's
It does. It takes a while.
I really relate because Tina and I are on tour, and I want to talk about your tour.
Yes.
And I pushed her. I was like, "Let's do stand up," and Tina was like, "We don't really," and I was like, "But we do, and also we can, and also let's just keep trying it and try new material and like
Yeah.
use this section to try new stuff."
Well, with us, with our tour, we do a lot of improv, but then whenever a joke really hits, we keep it. So it's basically like you doing improv, but then being able to save everything that works and doing it again.
Yeah.
It's just such a different form of comedy, but the hard part's done. You're funny.
I'm always so suspicious of when people start gatekeeping stuff as being really hard. I mean,
Yeah.
with the exception of like science and
like real hard
like
stuff.
real hard stuff, like math.
Things that you have to
That
do
was
in school for
controversial
more
take.
than
Are we
5
respecting
years.
science on this pod?
We believe in science. We believe in science, and I said it for the first time today.
Like I would have never even thought to go on a tour or even been or said like, yeah, I want to do this if it wasn't for Hannah being like, Paige, you can go out on a stage and like be funny.
What do you like and not like about being on tour?
I always say like the beginning, like before we go out on stage when we're in the green room is my favorite part because that's when we're just like waiting
It's so
to like
funny
go
you say
do
that.
something.
Your mom's brought that up.
Really?
That like Kim being on tour,
Yeah.
she was saying the best part. I always tell people the best part is before you are on stage and it's just the two of you
Yeah.
getting hair and makeup, just like
Because
getting
we're literally,
ready.
it's like we're waiting to like go to a party or something.
Except
like,
every now and then, Paige started this thing. She likes to show up in like her sweats.
I'm an athlete.
like an athlete.
She,
Yeah.
she,
I'm an
she has to look
athlete.
like she's practicing. She's like, let's not get dressed up until right before.
Yeah.
But I'm not organized, so I show up in my sweats, and then I take out my backpack, and I'm like, I left my left heel in the hotel. This is really, 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 and I forget clothes all the time. Where Paige has her perfect
this is
outfit.
this describes tour. We were in Denver. We had just started our tour.
talking about Denver?
I know.
Okay.
We're about to go out on stage in like 15 minutes, and I'm like, no, I think I'm having a panic attack. My hands are numb. I'm crying. I'm throwing up. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm having a panic attack. Hannah's trying to like play spa music in the background. She's
I
like,
found on YouTube spa music, and I just put it at her
she's like,
face.
hey, is this helping? I'm like, not at all. I'm literally in the midst of crying. Tears are running down my face. I realize that Hannah has forgotten her shirt that she's wearing out on stage. So she's gonna wear like this silk pajama shirt that like the venue had given us, like this merch. I can't even speak, and the only words I can get out is, you can't wear that shirt on stage. And she looks over at me and she's like, you're having a panic attack and you're gonna tell me what I'm gonna wear. Luckily I had like a t-shirt in my bag that was like extra whatever, and I was like, put this on. She put that on, her outfit was fine, and then I got out of my panic attack.
But that's a great example of like she got you so
After a lot of beta blockers and Xanax,
And
I
let's
got
also,
out of it. But
she FaceTimes her mom because she's like, Hannah, this isn't working. I'm FaceTiming Kim. So I'm just listening, supporting, and all I hear is, Paige, stop. Paige, stop it. You're fine.
Yeah.
Paige, you're fine. She hangs up. We start dying laughing. We were like, your mom just told you
yeah,
to
she's
stop.
like, panic attacks aren't real.
And that's 2 generations
Yeah,
of women.
yeah.
She's like, back in my day,
Yeah.
we sucked
Suck
it
it
up.
up.
Okay?
Well, that is true. We
Yeah.
never even had the word anxiety. You know,
Yeah.
like
And
I
you
had
did SNL.
And I had a high school boyfriend who used to get stomach aches, and we
Yeah.
were like, "Huh, I wonder why." Like, and he would just be up all night, and
Now you realize it was 'cause
and
of you?
Would be worried.
The second you broke up, he's like, my stomach feels great.
He's like, "He totally went away." And I was like, "Okay, well, I wonder what it was." And he used to be up all night, worried about the future.
Yeah.
Get stomach aches, And everyone was just like, huh,
Shoot.
I guess.
Drink
I
some
don't know. I hope you
Pepto,
fix that.
yeah.
There was no discussion.
You
about
bring up
anxiety.
relaxation a lot in this episode. I was wondering, because you've dealt with some of the most high-pressure live performances in entertainment, period. Do you have any advice for us when you feel like your career is hanging by a thread?
You're like,
and
do you ever
have
take a
5
beta
seconds
blocker?
to give something funny?
No.
I've never taken a beta blocker, and
We'll
a lot of
give you a
people have
subscription.
told me about those.
Yeah.
I would be worried it would slow me down.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing why I like it. It's not for anxiety, it's for blood pressure. So like it doesn't do anything to
She's
your
a drug
brain.
pusher.
No, I'm
She
a drug
pushes
pusher
people.
because I am very against Xanax. I don't like the way Xanax makes me feel.
Yeah, you have to really, really be careful.
Yeah, I
with
didn't
those.
like that. Where when I took a beta blocker before I went out on stage, it just like took away my hands sweating. So that's why I like it.
It's good with physical reactions. Like,
Yeah.
you know when you're so over-prepared for a performance, but you know your body's going to turn on you right beforehand and
Yeah.
you're going to get the shakes and your lips
Yeah.
quivering. Beta blocker for me, I've taken... It just calms your heart rate, so I
Yeah.
feel more normal, but not your brain.
Yeah, it
but
does nothing
it
to, like,
depends on the person. I took it. Did I take it? I didn't take it for Fallon. I took it for my Netflix special.
Yeah.
Because
Great
I was
special, by the way.
Thank you. I was having a lot of like panic
Nerves,
because
yeah.
I felt like it was a
nerves.
make or break career moment for me, and I blew it out of proportion in my head. But I've never experienced that level of performance before, and stand-up's never recorded. So I just went to a dark place in my head. I'm like, what if I blank?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like my anxiety tends to come after I do something. I get a little kind of zony before, and then after I get very fluttery and nervous, and it's a little bit like, was that good? Did I do
Yeah.
it? Like I kind of check out. I disassociate, which
Yeah.
our Jen is
Healthy.
really good at. It's really
Healthy.
healthy.
Yeah.
Like just float above your body.
Yep.
And get out of your body. And then when I'm like sucked back into my body, that's when I get shaky after something.
Interesting.
More than before something. It's almost like I get the
like
aftershock.
your adrenaline comes
The
down.
adrenaline.
Yeah, and like,
yeah.
did I say that right? Did I
Yeah.
disappoint
Totally.
everyone?
Was it good? Did I even do it? Like,
Yeah.
did it even happen?
Oh, so we're dark. We're like, what is my name?
Try disassociating
What planet
because
are
that's
we
the
on?
best one. Just don't be
She goes,
there.
I don't even remember the
yeah,
90s.
I think you're trying to be too present. Like you're trying to be too in the moment. Be out of the moment. Be out of the room.
I do think because our generation is so aware of mental health, we're always trying to like be like, okay, this is anxiety and this is PTSD and this is OCD, and a lot of it is true. But then there's a moment where it's like, and now how do we cope?
Yeah.
To not let
Yeah.
it beat us and not let it suppress like who we want to be.
Well, I think, and I'm sure, like from your athlete days, like there is a thing about your brain, and everyone has different capacities for this. So I realize that, but there is something about your brain where if you start to tell your brain something, you can trick your brain for a short amount of time to get the thing done. And yes, if you start labeling the different, like anxiety, OCD, this is this, it's happening again. You're starting to tell your brain, like,
We're doing it.
we're doing it
Yeah.
again. We're here. We're doing it again.
100%.
There is a little trick. Sometimes it works for me where being excited and being anxious are the same physical symptoms, physical feelings. So if you say, look at how excited I am
Yeah.
rather than how anxious I am, that
Yeah.
it doesn't help when you're like at the dentist or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm so excited to be at the dentist.
They say a little bit of anxiety, especially in sports, is good.
Yeah.
And it helps you actually perform at more focused level. So a little anxiety is important. Like if you're
Yeah.
ever not nervous before a gig, I get a little nervous. I'm like, someone's about to be loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
No, that actually helped me when we were on tour, like after my first panic attack, and then I would like take a beta blocker before, like I'd be like, shoot, I hope it doesn't happen again. Hannah would always say to me, like, it's good to be a little nervous. You care about what you're doing, and that truly would like calm me down.
Yes.
She'd also push me out on stage
I would
mid panic
literally
attack.
launch her, like bunt kick her onto the
She'd
stage.
be like, your adrenaline will kick in. We hope so. Here you go.
Go ahead, honey. You got it. And also, doesn't it help you because taking care of somebody is a great distraction?
Oh, I was upset. I wasn't the problem for like the first time
Yeah.
ever. So, but I was like forgetting my shirt because I was so obsessed with like, is Paige okay?
Well, you
Yeah.
might have a little ADHD because you said you forget your shoe. Yeah.
I wish you didn't say that because
I could talk about this forever.
But is
it's
it true?
all she says to me. She's like, well, I suffer from ADHD. And I'm like, but
wouldn't
you've
say suffer.
never seen a doctor.
I wouldn't say suffer. I would say I
Okay,
thrive.
you live with it.
thrive in my-
Right.
I'm like, you've
He's
never
right.
seen
He's
a
right with that.
doctor. You've only been given TikToks about this. And so I really need
Yeah.
you to stop bringing it up.
You're right. Everyone on TikTok tells me that I have it or that
Yeah.
they have it or we all have it. And
Yeah.
it is. I mean, but that is how I diagnose most things.
Yeah,
is
I'm like, no,
TikTok.
you just want to sleep an extra hour.
Yeah.
You don't have ADHD. You literally just press snooze. Like,
No, I told my other friend, I was like, I think I have ADHD, and she was like, yeah, everyone knows that about you. And I was like, no one told me this whole time?
You know, Kim from Paper Kite, she had a really, one of our producers, she had a really great thing where she said, you can tell you have ADHD if someone says, we have to leave in 5 minutes or we're going to miss the flight. And someone says, all right, let me just take a shower.
that's her.
That's the
That's
only
her.
time I start cleaning. I'm like, this
It
cup shouldn't be
says we
here.
have to leave in 5 minutes. It's like, great, let me take a shower.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
That's a good
That's
indication that
so
maybe
true.
time is more of a concept.
That's so
That
true.
is so
You always do.
I also
you
will,
always
like-
have to go to the bathroom when we have to leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also will like leave the shower just shaving one leg and find out like 2 days later. But these are all things that make me beautiful.
Absolutely, absolutely special and beautiful. And then is there anything that you have, Paige? Like,
When I make a mistake.
yeah,
I feel like for me, I think maybe this is because of reality TV. I'm very quick to want to like defend myself of like, oh no, I didn't make a mistake. You're just not seeing it from my perspective. And like what I meant to do was this or what I meant to say was this. And I feel like in my 30s, I've not mastered at all, but I've worked harder to be like, and not everyone is going to like me, and I don't need everyone to like me. I don't like everyone.
I thought you were going to say, I don't like me.
Yeah, well, that too. I'm like, imagine hating on me, and I'm at home hating on me. So I feel like I've had to like overcome that of like, not everyone is going to like you, and not everyone is going to think you're funny, and not everyone's going to love your outfits, and that's okay because you think you're funny, and you like what you're wearing. And so that's been like a struggle. I think reality TV like brought that up because really like the human brain, I'm not supposed to see 200 people commenting how much they hate me. Like I'm
On a
not
scene that has no
yeah,
context.
like I'm not supposed as a human, I'm not supposed to be able to read that.
no.
And there's like this new thing on TikTok where it's like we were never meant to see ourselves. Like mirrors were like invented. Like we were never
Yes,
supposed to see what we
Narcissus.
look like.
Yes.
And I feel like that with being so public and like social media, we really weren't supposed to see how people feel about us. And so I think that's
Have
how
you heard that saying, what other people think of you is none of your business?
I was
Yeah.
about to say our new thing is saying it's none of my
Absolutely.
business.
It's
none
a
of my
fantastic
business.
way. And I mean, but when you're on a show, like you're still on Summer House,
Yeah.
like that's hard.
It's hard.
because you have to talk about people in real time. You have to hear.
And then for a year after, like you don't get to move on until a year after
And
because
it's hard to not
everyone
take
else
it personally
is seeing
because
it.
people are like talking about who you are as a person.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, let me explain that one moment. And it's like, no, I don't need to explain that one moment. No one cares.
yeah, but being misunderstood is
it's
painful.
tough. It's painful.
But I really feel like people who want to misunderstand you will.
Yeah.
And people who want to understand you will. And that's like how
100%.
you get a little piece
Yeah.
with it.
Do you ever talk about? Do you ever clarify things about the show on your podcast?
Never.
I've
mean, it's a
never
that's a
said
power move.
I've never said what actually happened in my last
We've
season.
never spoken about Summer House. We don't, honestly, because when we started, we were like one of the first podcasts to come out of Bravo. I think maybe there was like one or two others. And they were really adamant of like, this is not a Bravo podcast. Do not speak about Bravo. And we were like, totally fine with us. Like, we weren't going to anyway. We wanted it to be more pop culture. And so now people are kind of surprised if they find us from Bravo because they're like, they never talk about Bravo. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, we weren't allowed to in the beginning. And now, like, yeah, it doesn't really go with who we are and like what we talk about. So it's actually better that way.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does. You're practicing what you're saying, which is
Yeah.
you're just kind of letting go of things that you can't have control over.
Because then it would be too in the weed. It's too much.
Yeah.
Also, it's funny you brought up mistakes because I feel like, I don't know, I don't want to speak for you, but like I really have just failed upwards. Does that make sense? Like
You've been fired so many times.
and I love every time. And I love
And I'm sorry to say this,
quotes.
but we're gonna ask you.
And
to
this
leave.
is the time.
We need to ask you to leave right now.
I manifested it accidentally. But not to do like a Jordan quote, but like they say like of all the shots.
Why? Timmy does a Jordan.
Yes.
Timmy wants to be like Jordan.
Yes.
Timmy Chalamet.
I-
You're like Jordan.
Yeah.
Timmy, Charlemagne. Okay, so I need to stop. So I have ADHD. So he missed like a ton of the like shots to win the game, but people don't remember those. They
I
remember
don't know
the
if
one
that's
he
the
made.
quote.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I was gonna say you don't worry about doing a Jordan
I'm
quote
pretty
because you
sure
didn't.
that was
you didn't
Wayne
do a Jordan
Gretzky.
quote. And it was Wayne Gretzky.
As
and
I
that
was saying it,
was you
Amy
missed
Poehler
100
looked me in the eye and went,
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take was Wayne Gretzky
Yeah.
and not Jordan. But I bet Jordan did say something
But I'm
about
sure they're
shots.
friends and they like each other, so it's all fine.
okay, I'm never going to say a quote again. But with that said,
And Obama actually said,
Brene
grab your
Brown,
hockey sticks, kids.
Marilyn Monroe, you miss 100 shots.
Marilyn Monroe used to say,
Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Wait, can we also tell them we misquoted Amy Poehler in our book? We also didn't ask permission, did a full quote with Amy Poehler, said it wrong, and then
wait, that's actually so funny because my brother literally saw the back and was like, you didn't ask my permission. And I was like, what, are you going to sue me?
Oh, because
Like-
your brother has a quote on the
yeah,
back of the
but
book.
I like wrote it like
my
for him.
glasses.
we got some fun quotes in the back of our
Gary,
book.
my sister isn't that funny.
Yeah.
That's his quote.
I wrote that.
Yeah, but we didn't like
I
run
wrote
it
it.
by
You
You
him.
go, did you not think it? Did you not think it?
Okay, you talk about pop culture on your podcast.
Yes.
Because of that, I want to just throw things out to
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Speed round.
Yes.
Tell me your thoughts and opinions.
Okay.
There's no wrong answers here.
Okay.
Okay.
Like the last thing I did. She goes, you got that wrong, but hopefully you do better this time.
Incredible. Okay. Veneers.
I don't think they
No.
ever look good.
Never.
No.
I think maybe there's like two people in Hollywood where I'm like, wait, they have really good veneers. But like a normal person who can't afford it.
I do have
Do you?
veneers.
Oh, they look great.
Well,
No, you wouldn't know. But because you obviously have access to a great doctor. The normies out here shouldn't get them.
too big, too white,
Too
too big.
When did
big.
you get them?
Well, I guess they're considered veneers. I had a chipped tooth,
Okay.
and when I went,
That's
when
the
I got,
story you're going with. She goes, I was in a bar fight.
I broke my nose in a car accident, and
I have a sinus
I hit a
infection.
deer, and a sinus infection.
So you have
No,
a chipped
I had a
tooth.
chipped tooth when I got on SNL, and I thought, no big deal, whatever, like a
That's
small
hilarious.
chip.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who cares? And then I saw myself on camera, and I gasped. I was like,
Oh, okay.
oh no! Like I look, and so I got my teeth fixed. I got veneers when I was on SNL.
So
You
went-
would never know.
Just two, but I have them.
If you didn't get into Hollywood, do you think you would have gotten veneers?
Wow, that's a good question. Maybe not. I don't think so. I think where I came from in Massachusetts, and I don't know if I think I wouldn't mind my chip. But seeing yourself on
Yeah.
camera is a different.
You know how
deal.
people hate hearing their own voice, like even in a voicemail. I'm like, imagine watching yourself on TV. You're like, that's what I present to the world.
It's a night-
like
it's
it's
really,
crazy.
really
it's
crazy.
a real mind fuck.
Okay, so you got to be careful with veneers.
Yeah.
I get nervous when people shave it down and they have little nubs.
Yeah.
That makes me nervous.
I think that doesn't happen as much anymore. I think they've really taken it back. They don't go
We've
such
learned-
a
we
We
shit.
don't know the science.
we don't know
behind
anything
it.
about veneers.
Okay, look into it.
But we
We
like to
don't
do
know
hot
anything about it,
takes.
but we hate them.
And I also
Okay.
have to say, both of you, if I may, you both have great teeth.
I thought you were gonna say you both need them. So that's crazy. You
I
should
have a
look into
doctor.
it.
I'd like to talk to somebody who does. Dr. Keen, Beverly Hills.
Shut up.
You both have great teeth, so talking about veneers with great teeth isn't really fair.
Yeah.
True.
Okay?
True.
Wow, I hope
Because
we
some
don't
of us don't have great
get
teeth.
canceled for
Gel
that.
nails.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You love them.
We love them.
But
Yeah.
the taking off of them.
That's the thing. You just let them grow
I
out.
was just gonna say we never take them off.
we never take it off.
We just re-go.
Okay. How do you feel about running?
From what?
What problems are you running from?
Yeah, from
Who are you running from?
what?
What we can do Pilates. That's a workout laying down with BDSM equipment.
Actually, I'm gonna.
We're not running. The only time I
I-
run is to get away from a man.
Okay, how do you feel about people who love dogs?
Okay, you did that. You did no.
Are you
that
doing
was
this on
mean.
purpose?
You did on purpose.
No, why?
Oh.
Do I know some?
Because
what-
we're
we're
cat
cat
people, and
people.
people are. It's very controversial.
Oh, okay. Right,
We're
right.
huge cat
okay,
people.
who love dogs. I love dogs.
Yeah.
I foster senior pets all the time. Get that on.
Clip that.
People who love dogs, I love. People
Yeah.
who say they hate cats,
Yeah.
I don't like.
That's not
that.
nice.
That's
They've
not
never
nice.
had a cat. They
It's
don't know.
always the dog people. They're like, I love dogs, but then Scruffy scratched me when I was 4. I hate cats. I hate cats, and it's like cats just want your consent.
Yeah, you're right. It's people think it's okay to say they hate cats. That's not
and
nice.
it's not.
It's horrible.
I love Kat's PR though. Like I love that they're hated publicly because like that's their vibe.
Yeah,
Like
they
they
don't care.
like that.
If you hate cats, you hate women.
And now we've said it.
I wasn't gonna say it. I said it.
And now we've gone there on the
And
pod.
we went there.
When you're talking about traveling, how early do you like to get to the airport for a flight?
Okay, that's another reason why I think we're pretty compatible. We have the same flight time. We're very big on boarding time. We like to know the boarding time, and we like to be there an hour before it boards.
I also am very lucky where I live in New York. I'm 20 minutes from LaGuardia.
Yeah.
So I kind of roll out of bed.
That's great.
And
The
I
world's
know-
best airport.
And I'm besties with the clear people. I get high fives from them. They're
Yeah.
like, Hannah,
That's
good
their
luck
job,
this weekend.
but-
And I
They're paid to bring you
you
in.
don't think they care? You don't think they care? Those clear
They
people
are
are
cold.
passionate.
They know your name.
They look-
They do want
They
to
look at my soul.
The screen says your name. That's how they know it. They didn't remember it, but
They get paid for every person that goes through.
They go, Minneapolis? I go, you know everything about me.
they're like, I'm looking at your flight information, ma'am.
So yeah, we're the same. We keep each other.
Yeah, we're pretty similar travelers.
Oh, that's really important.
It's really
That's really important. Okay, what about avocado toast?
I think avocado ruins a lot of really good things.
Really?
This is Paige's hot
Anti.
take. Paige. The people are gonna be so mad.
I know. I think that I don't know what year we were like, let's throw avocado on every sandwich, but I wish I paid attention more and stopped it. Because I don't need avocado on my turkey sandwich. It was gorgeous years prior. It's been a turkey sandwich forever. I don't need it now to be
You
turkey
don't
and
have
avocado.
a mature palate. Just say it.
Do you have like a baby palate, like a little kid palate?
No, don't listen to her.
I'm so sorry.
I eat
I'm so
way.
sorry.
I will try way
sorry,
more
she said it
things
confidently.
than her, and
What do you do?
I will try. I feel like I eat way more things than you. Like try way more things.
Not
you,
true.
You eat
I just do-
Mexican food, and that's it.
I do get hyperfixated on a meal,
and
and if
have
I
the
like
same
it,
one.
I'll eat it for a couple weeks.
Couple
but
years.
then I'll change.
You've been having
I like
chilaquiles for 7 years.
Look, I don't recommend it before a show. That's all I'm gonna say.
What is your favorite kind of sandwich? if you could have a perfect sandwich, what's
Bacon,
your-
egg, and cheese. I'm so New York.
on what?
Ooh, good question. Anything, but like everything bagel, roll, just bacon, egg, and just
My-
bacon, egg, and cheese.
Perfect sandwich would be like prosciutto, mozzarella cheese, a little olive oil and vinegar on like a hard, like good baguette.
Yeah.
Spoken like a person has their real teeth.
I can bite into
Can you
that.
not bite
two
into
front
stuff?
teeth.
Well, you have to be careful when you have veneers.
You have to cut.
You have to go a little slower. Like you don't want to you don't want to come up on an apple too fast.
Got it. Because they
They can pop off.
yeah, they can pop up anywhere.
Okay, and the last one is women who ask men to marry them.
Picking your partner is the most important thing you do in your life. I'm not just willy-nilly waiting for a guy to spring it on me. I'm sitting down and having a serious discussion if you want to spend the rest of your life with me.
Yes, and the bigger thing of like, what do we expect? Like expecting to be chosen and waiting to be chosen rather than choosing. It's complicated.
Yeah.
But also, I do think there's a thing sometimes where, I mean, and you know, straight cis marriage is a whole other conversation. Like, who cares? But
Boring. No, it's very boring.
It is.
It's
I mean,
uncool.
marriage
It's
is-
chuggy. Getting married is chuggy now.
yeah,
you have
are we still saying chuggy?
No, that was chuggy of me.
It's
just
funny
wanna
because
know.
we also talk on the pod, like, obviously Hannah's married, and so, like,
We don't like to talk about it though. It's very off-brand.
so off-brand for her. It's
very
so
Don't bring it up.
crazy. Even
Why
when
don't you
she
just
says
expose
my
me?
husband, I'm like, what? You have a husband?
We say boyfriend.
But, like, we talk about how, like, people expect you to look the best you've ever looked on your wedding day, and then, like, you'll never be that skinny or pretty ever again. Like, this is your one day, or, like, it's the best day of your life. And I remember Hannah's wedding, she was like, this is a great day, but, like, I've had better. Like, you know, like, I've had a day, like, when she filmed her Netflix special, she was like, "This is truly the best."
I was
day
high
of
on
my
beta
life.
blockers, but it was an amazing day.
And so I think we're in a generation where it is it's shifting a little bit, where it's like, okay, your wedding day and your marriage isn't the best thing you're ever going to do your whole life. And that's really put on women.
Yes.
Where it's like, this is the best you're ever going to look.
Yeah.
This is the best weekend you're ever going to have. Everyone's here for you. This is the last time that's ever going to happen.
Yes.
So like the whole proposal thing and like a girl doing it to a guy, there's he hasn't said that he likes you then. That's why you're doing it, I feel like.
Well, I do feel like what you two speak about a lot, and I feel like that's what I mean about the freedom that comes from the women that are coming up behind me, is that the discussion about how gaslit we are all the time.
Yeah.
That's it. The discussion in real time about how we get these crazy mixed messages all the time. And it's like, push and pull back and be this way, but say what you want. But it's like
I
constant.
mean, being a female comedian is a fuck you to the system. They don't want you to call people out, say things that are out of line, make people uncomfortable. That's what we do as comics, make you think, take up space. That's why I love being a female comedian. And yeah, we get pushback a lot, but that's like what our choice is. This is the life I want to live. And I also think it's so cool you talked to our moms before, because generationally, they only had so many options. I joke that icks are popular now because, like, back then, you barely had a credit card. You couldn't have an ick with your husband.
You literally couldn't divorce your husband. It was illegal.
Yeah, he starts singing Happy Birthday at a restaurant. You're like, la, 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 la. Nowadays, if a guy gets, like, a little baby spoon, like, let me do my stand-up, a little baby spoon eating an ice cream, you're like, yeah, divorce, and I'm taking all the money that I made.
Yeah, like, get out of my house.
And I'm taking the money that we never shared. Okay, speaking of laugh, before you leave, I'm asking people what they're laughing at these days. What do you like look at, read, go see? I mean, I know you make each other laugh, Hannah.
Hannah's text messages. When Hannah really goes off, here's the thing.
Can you share a text message?
This is when I know. No, she's smart. She does voice notes. This is when
You
I
do
know.
voice notes? I thought that was a boomer thing. Voice notes are millennial.
we love a voice note.
But they disappear, and then you can never.
Good. No, we love that. This is when
We
I
would
know.
be in jail.
Yeah.
This is
if
when I
people
know
saw a
Hannah's
voice note.
husband isn't in the city. Hannah's voice noting me like crazy. She's like, and then I figured this out, and then I saw this, and oh my God, I haven't brought this up to you. So
My mom will be like, you've been voice noting Paige for 2 hours. Pick up the phone.
Yeah.
but that's invasive.
I don't like the phone. I
like
don't like
to-
to talk on the phone.
No.
And I don't like when people FaceTime me out of the blue.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
But I think you guys don't mind it as much.
We don't, but we are respectful of each
we're
other's boundaries.
respectful, but if one of us does FaceTime each other out of the blue, it is the first thing we say when we answer the phone. Like, okay. Like,
what's
this
going on?
Yeah, someone must be dead.
Yeah.
But that's why there's not more female pilots, because we don't like a dispatcher in our ear.
we don't want to hear it.
Text me.
Yeah, I know where I'm going. Thanks, I know. Thanks, I know where we're going.
Stop mansplaining how to land the plane.
Wait, we also started doing this thing because, like, we stay in hotels all the time with each other. That, like, anytime one of us has to go to the other one's room, we think of, like, a line we're going to say when we open the door. Like, we have to have a bit going into it. Totally.
Wait, I was wearing a tie. I think it was before we met you, and we opened the door, and I was like, I'm selling you insurance. And she was like, I just puked. Or so she said something.
No, I was like, I think I'm pregnant.
This is the thing. Life is sad. So if you don't have a friend making you laugh, what are we here for?
100%. And what do you? Okay, so
what's making
Paige
you laugh?
gets Hannah's text to make her laugh.
Yeah.
What makes you laugh? What?
Paige doesn't really make me laugh that much, but imagine this is where she finds out. I actually don't really enjoy the pod with her. No, Paige 100% makes me laugh
Okay,
so
you guys
much.
make each other laugh.
Yeah,
but what
like,
else?
okay, like what TV are we watching? And
Yes,
like
what do you do at night? Or like like.
I just watched Detroiters. I thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
So funny.
I-
Sam
very
Richardson.
funny.
I love comics who are
Robinson.
really different from me. It's more. I get more like. It's more admirable because I'm like I could never do that. So then I think it's really funny.
I love watching stand-ups. Who did I just watched 2 stand-ups this week. I watched Chelsea Handler's. I watched Bert Kreischer's. Honestly, anything on TikTok. Like, TikTok is funny.
Really funny.
Like, TikTok is the only social media app where when I log on to it, I never click my own profile and I never click my notifications.
You're not rewatching your videos to be like, was that funny?
No, I'm never rewatching. Where
Me
on
neither.
Instagram,
Me neither.
I'm obsessed with myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, my story
Your
is
grid.
so aesthetic today. My grid
Yeah.
has never looked better.
Yeah.
Like, I'm commenting at everyone.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
TikTok, I really go to it to just laugh.
Same. I said this many times, but especially in the pandemic, wrapping back around in the pandemic,
Yeah.
like that really saved me because there was lots of good comedy on
You,
TikTok.
You've been on TikTok.
Oh yeah,
You've been on TikTok.
I
I see you commenting, gassing up the girls. Like,
Well,
you're doing great.
Also, it was
Keep
that
going.
hilarious moment where it was like everyone was leaving, and so I was like, before we leave, I'm gonna just tell a couple people that I think they're
so
great.
cute.
But there's
That
so
was so
many funny
nice.
people.
No, there's so many funny people.
so many funny people.
I
on
also,
TikTok.
as a
The creativity. I'm like, how did you even think of that?
But
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
The women are particularly so funny
Yeah.
because I say that for female stand-ups, it's hard to be in the clubs at night,
Mm-hmm.
but that TikTok is like a safe open mic.
Yeah.
Where girls
Well,
can just like put their
I
material
think there's
out
more
there.
funny women on TikTok than there are men
Mm-hmm.
because I do feel like women are competitive with each other, but there is a sense of like we feel safe with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I know that my TikTok is majority girls.
Yeah.
So like when I put something out, I'm like, oh, it's the girls will think this is funny. So I think that's like where guys, I don't know, they don't have that relationship with other guys.
Do you like making TikToks?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
love it. And I feel like I just was on it for so long and really liked it that I feel like there's a way. I mean, my biggest fear was to come on as some like old lady being like, the thing that drives me nuts are like people that are like, I guess I should be doing this TikTok.
Yeah.
And you're like, beat it.
Yeah.
Like, it is actually like a culture of
Yeah.
people that work really hard. It's a lot of
Yeah.
creators on
And
there.
it's all just comedy in a different form.
Yeah.
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 And having your stamp of approval legitimizes it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but I love it. I do love it. And it is chuggy and it is cringy. Like, if I get it wrong, but whatever, who cares? Like,
Amy, you've never made a mistake in your life. Also, I can't wait to see you and Tina doing some TikToks on tour, continuing.
well, she doesn't love to do them.
Really?
No. So I always have to kind of convince her a little bit.
I feel like I'm the Tina.
I was
and
good.
you're
I didn't
the
want to
Amy.
ask. Yeah.
You think so?
I
You're-
think
Yeah.
so because there's always a TikTok that Hannah's like, this is gonna be so funny, and I'm like, oh, like get away from me.
Yeah, and whoever is the quieter one, right?
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
I also just have to say shout out to animals.
Yeah.
Animals
Yeah.
are the most effortlessly like I'll never be funnier than like a baby goat.
Yeah, that's so true. I've been trying to tell you that. You may look like one, but you're not one.
I go, I'm not following a baby goat. I'm not following them. They're effortless. They don't care. They're everything we want to be.
When we were on the Vanity
they
Fair
skip.
red carpet, we were the first to get our picture taken because we were literally
really?
there first. And so, like, me and Hannah are standing next to each other, and we just noticed all the cameras go immediately off of
And
us.
we're already having imposter
And we're like,
syndrome.
shoot, someone really famous must have walked in. They literally don't give a shit about us.
It was
a
Amy Poehler.
dog. It was a dog.
It was a dog.
I go, I've waited my whole life for this moment, and I'm losing
was
to
a
a dog.
Was it a famous dog?
We don't know.
Was it a
we
dog-
stopped asking questions.
We stopped the
because
question. And then I saw the dog and I was like, I get it. That's a beautiful dog. It was a lab. Grew
we were
up in a nice
we
home.
were like, that tail blowout is better than ours.
Yeah. I'm like, how did the lab get a Dyson Airwrap?
And then it stood on the right side and it looked gorgeous.
It took my job.
It took your job. Thank you guys so much
was
for
so
doing this. This
fun.
was so fun.
Thank you for
you
hanging with
so
us, Amy.
much.
We love you.
You know, I love you back, and I can't wait for all the big things ahead for both of you
Thank
in
you.
all different areas
Thank
of the
you so
business that you
much.
work
And
in.
we feel the same about you. It sounds weird, but we feel like, are you just getting started? Cut.
Clip that. That would be such a great fake title for this podcast. Like, just getting
getting
started.
started.
Just getting started? Question mark? Amy Poehler, just getting started?
Wait, why does like your face has to be like that for
Just
the
getting
joke?
started. And then I'm like at Scales of Justice, and I'm holding like like a baby bottle and like a tiny little gravestone, and I'm like, just getting started.
Just
I'm hooked up to
one of
an
the-
IV.
one
And
of
I'm
the-
like, just getting started.
one of those sand clocks that's just slowly going away of time.
There's a guy. I'm going like this. I'm like I'm in a baby doll dress. And I'm going, just getting started. And behind me is the Grim Reaper just waiting for me.
And Botox getting injected into you. The Grim Reaper's
And I'm wearing pigtails and I'm in like just overalls. And I'm like, just getting started.
Wait, the Grim Reaper. I can't.
All right, we renamed the podcast.
We have fun
Perfect.
here.
All right,
We
thank
have
you
fun
guys
here.
so much. That was an awesome, super fun episode of Good Hang. I loved having the ladies here. It was a blast. And we talked a lot about a lot of things. And I love stand-up comedy, despite maybe some of the things I said in the podcast. No, but I have great respect for it. And it made me think about the people that I'm watching. And I would encourage everybody to check out Jordan Jensen if they haven't seen her work. She's a touring comedian right now. And really specific, funny voice, just great with crowds, improvises all the time, deeply interesting, funny woman who, I just wanted to give a shout out to because I think she's great. So that's all. I never know how to finish these things. I never know how to end the podcast. So, okay, bye. You've been listening to Good Hang. The executive producers for this show are Bill Simmons, Jenna Weiss-Berman, and me, Amy Poehler. The show is produced by The Ringer and Paper Kite. For The Ringer, production by Jack Wilson, Kat Spillane, Kaya McMullen, and Aleya Zenieris. For Paper Kite, production by Sam Green, Joel Lovell, and Jenna Weiss-Berman. Original music by Amy Miles.
I ever wanna